I almost died. This is my story of addiction. So let's go back to the very start. It all happened when the first caveman discovered fire. Nah, I'm just kidding. Not that far back. It all started as a kid. Growing up, I didn't have my father in my life. In turn, I think that made me seek out a father figure subconsciously. This comes into play later. My mom was in the military, so I got accustomed to always moving. Every few years, we would pack up everything and start all over from scratch. But no matter where we went, nowhere ever really felt like home to me. I never really had any permanent friends in my life, but that all changed when we moved to Virginia in 2010. The first time I ever partook in the Zaza, I was 11 years old. Yes, you heard that right, 11 years old. While most kids were worried about chasing butterflies and picking their nose, I was busy getting faded. By the ripe old age of 12, I was doing it nearly every single day. That's when I met a friend. We'll call him Rico for privacy reasons. We had met through the Zaza. Rico and I would always find ways to fund our daily habit. Whether it was elaborate scams, stealing from our parents, or selling games at GameStop, we always found a way. After 2 years of that, at 14 years old, we started experimenting with prescriptions. We started taking anti-anxiety medication. I have to be careful with how I say it, so from now on, I'm just gonna refer to them as bars. We started experimenting because the Zaza just wasn't really doing anything for us anymore. It also didn't help that the prescriptions were cheaper. We could get more faded for less money, so to Rico and I, it was a no-brainer. By that time, we had made much more friends. There were about 7 of us in our friend group altogether. After 3 years, we were taking bars pretty frequently. In those 3 years, age 14 through 17, our friend group started doing progressively worse and worse things to fund our habits, included but not limited to robbing people, car hopping, stealing from others, and even stealing from each other at times. I took a step back and realized that kind of lifestyle will inevitably lead to jail or even worse, death. And I did not want that for my life. I had goals, dreams, hopes, and aspirations to be way more than that. So slowly, I started to separate myself from them, and they resented me for it. It hurt me a lot because I loved them. I considered them my real blood brothers. They all called me fake, claiming I switched up on them, but they didn't understand that I had to. At that time, I found a girlfriend. We'll call her Bailey. I started hanging out more with her and less with them. But everything came to a halting screech on December 13th, 2017. Rico was blacked out on bars and did something that would change the trajectory of both of our lives forever. I'm sure a lot of you know what being blacked out means, but if you're not sure, let me describe it for you. You're basically consciously in control of your body, but at the same time you're unconscious because you're making decisions that aren't rational, you're doing things that you would normally never do, and you have no control over it. So you will do things one day and completely not remember them the next day. Now back to the story. So around 3 a.m., he got into an argument with his parents, and being as he was blacked out, he started acting very erratically, which in turn led to the cops being called on him. The police arrived and tried to apprehend him, but what they did not see is that he had a steak knife in his hand. And had they realized, things could have ended way differently. As they struggled to apprehend him, he unfortunately jabbed one of the cops with it. Eventually, they ended up handcuffing him and taking him to jail. I didn't end up hearing the news until the next day. It shattered my heart to pieces. We did everything together, shared laughs, and even shed tears. That was my brother. And in some messed up way, I think I sort of saw him as a father figure, being as he was slightly older than me. And now, that was all gone. No redos, no takebacks, it was all over. I feel that I tried my very hardest to not have him go down that path. Told him that it would only end in jail or death. And I think deep down, he already knew. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. After that, it only made my addiction even worse. A year goes by, and during that time, I had to move in with my girlfriend, Bailey. My mom moved to the next city over because my grandma and great-grandma started living with us. Unfortunately, my great-grandma actually passed away a week before the recording of this video. Rest in peace, grannies. I love you forever. Now, because we moved to the next city over, my high school wouldn't allow me to graduate unless I lived in my home city of Virginia Beach. And Bailey lived in Virginia Beach, so it made more sense at the time for me to move in with her. Fast forward 6 months, and I do end up graduating, thankfully. I ended up living with her for the rest of the duration of our relationship. During the entire time that I lived with Bailey, I was routinely abusing prescriptions and still smoking every day. In a messed up way, I would abuse prescriptions to reminisce on the good old days with my old best friend, Rico, as we would frequently use together. Bailey hated this. Every time I used, she would end up pushing me away, in turn only pushing me towards the substances even more. And truthfully, all I ever wanted was to feel loved, even when I was messed up. This led to me hiding it constantly. It was a vicious cycle. Eventually, after about a year, she ended up cheating on me with one of my old best friends that was in my previous friend group. Not only that, she chose to cheat on Valentine's Day, of all days. She also chose to never tell me. The only reason I found out was because I told a joke. Something along the lines of, I know you cheated on me with so-and-so. And when I said that, her face got all red and she had a look on her face like she had just been caught. And that's when I knew. Now, initially, I packed up all my things from her house, deciding to leave and break up. But like a fool, I ended up forgiving her and getting back together with her. I just couldn't stand the thought of being alone with everything that I was going through. Fast forward 6 months, she ended up leaving me and hooking up with a guy the same day we broke up. My heart shattered into tiny little pieces. I was with this girl for 3 years, and I thought eventually we were gonna end up being married. She flushed it all away and moved on the same day, like those 3 years meant absolutely nothing to her. Meanwhile, I was devastated. So first, I lost the only good friend I've ever had up until that point. Second, I lost the girl that I thought was the love of my life. And that's when my addiction truly spiraled out of control. During the last few months of our relationship, I started abusing almost exclusively only painkillers, while of course still smoking every day. Once we broke up, the painkillers became an everyday thing. This went on for almost a full year until the night of December 19th, 2020, when it all came crashing down. Earlier in the day, I ended up taking 3 bars, and later that night, after work, I ended up taking 3 painkillers on top of that. Now, those 2 medications in tandem make overdosing extremely likely. Part of me knew that, and I think the other part of me just didn't care anymore. Later that night, I ended up dozing off and falling asleep, eventually, thankfully, waking up in the ER. The nurses had informed me that I had just overdosed and that I was extremely lucky to be alive. And I was extremely lucky. My mom told me later on what had happened from her perspective. It was around 3 a.m. She had woken up randomly and decided to get some water. She told me that she had this odd sudden urge to come check on me that she had never experienced before. And when she did, she saw that I was really struggling to breathe. As she turned me over, she saw that both of my lips were turning blue. That's when she panicked and called 911. If she had checked on me even 15 minutes later, I wouldn't have made it. Hell, if she didn't randomly get thirsty in the middle of the night, I wouldn't be here telling you the story today. After I realized what I had done, all the pain and stress that I had put my mother through, the same person that worked tirelessly to put food on the table for me and my brother, that put her own hopes and dreams aside to provide us a good life, I knew that I had to stop. Not for myself, but for her. I had to make sure all of her sacrifices weren't in vain. I got help after that. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and pretend that I've been completely sober since that happened. I've had times where I've messed up, and I've had periods where I've been completely sober for a long time. Life's not perfect. I'm not perfect. But since that night, I vowed that that would never, ever happen again. And I've stayed true to my word. I like to think that everything in my life happened for a reason. Whether that be the lessons I had to learn the hard way, what true love should feel like, or realizing what a real friendship actually should be like. Every bad thing happened for a good reason, even if it didn't feel like that in the moment. God saved me. He knew that it wasn't my time that fateful night. During that time, I never thought in a million years that I would be living out my dreams today, let alone be alive. That just goes to show you, if you're struggling right now, life can and will get better. But you have to make that change internally first. Take that spontaneous trip, ask out that girl you like, and chase your dreams. Just take those risks. Calculated, of course. Life's too fickle and short to wonder what could have been. If you or someone you know needs help, call the crisis hotline at 988 or the substance abuse hotline at 1-800-662-4357. One final thing I want to say before I end off this video is that the best way to beat addiction is to just never try anything. A lot of people have addictive personalities like me, and they don't know it until they start. Do not start experimenting. It is not worth it. And if you are currently struggling with addiction right now, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. My DMs are always open to you guys. I've always wanted to make a video about my life story, so I really hope you guys enjoyed and can take some inspiration and find solace in this video. Sorry I've been slacking on long form. Let me know what you guys want to see from me in the future. Make sure to hype the video, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Peace out.
Take it day by day. Fake it or fake